What's up guys, I'm Chase. Today, how we went from something like this to something like this. By the way, there's no clear coat on this, just paint. Let's get into it. Very short, but the next one's gonna be pretty long. The painting process is definitely the longest. Alright guys, we are 2 priming sessions in, and here's about where we're at. Hope you can see that. Anyways, it's time to start sanding. So right here, I have 220 grit on the palm sander. This is what I'm going to use, and yeah, I'm going to do the first round of sanding, and I'll show you what it looks like after that, and before our 3rd coat of primer. Alright guys, here we are after we got 1 pass of sanding. 220 grit all over the helmet. Pretty good progress so far. Of course, you're not going to get it perfect on your first try or 2. You're still going to see your layer lines. Like up in there somewhere. And then kind of, it's hard to tell. I don't know if you can see that in the sun. You can kind of see the layer lines still. So the next coat of primer, filler primer, I'm going to go heavy, super heavy on, like a big wet coat. And then I will show you what it looks like after that. While I'm thinking about it, when you do that wet coat like I just did, the super wet coat of primer, don't worry about it running or getting gloopy in some spots or anything, because you're going to sand it off anyways. How I look at it is you're building up more that you're just going to sand down anyways. It's giving you more of a medium to actually take off to make it smoother. If anyone's curious, I'm doing this in my backyard after work. So, nice outside though. Check it out. We're inside. Here is how that layer of primer dried. Okay, just so you can see what we're working at. We got lines here, layer lines all the way up, somewhere around here, and then this spot and this spot on the top. So we're gonna do something a little different. So I am gonna sand this again, just a little bit, nothing crazy, and then we're gonna go into some spot putty, which I'll show you. So this will be, I think, the 3rd or 4th sanding. I'll pop it up, the number somewhere on the screen, and then I'm going to do that, and then we'll move on to the fillable primer. So, oh, the homies. After the 3rd or 4th round of sanding, because I don't remember what number I'm on, but they're in order. So whatever number it is the correct number. Here's what we're looking at. So here's the divot, the biggest divots. If you remember in the other parts where I welded this together, you can see some. And then the ringing on the top are the main problems we're going after. So here's our next step. Let's get to it. I'm gonna move to the workbench, or move you to the workbench, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Trying something a little different with the angles. Crazy. I'm unhinged. It's Friday night and I'm working on a video. Alright guys, so I zoomed you in for this for 2 reasons. 1, workbench is a mess. Number 2, you can see the top better. You can see this better, and that. So, first things first. Blue glove, put it on. Does yours have to be blue? Yes, it does. It's the Bondo glazing and spot putty. Yeah, wait. Here's what it looks like in the box. I have another one. So right here is the spot. I think they call this banding. So you're gonna open it. You're gonna squeeze the daylights out of it because it's so hard to get stuff out of. All right, I'm gonna switch to the new tube because I can't get any of it out. New tube, who dis? You can squeeze it onto your finger or right onto the print. In this case, oh, that's disgusting. You guys see that? On my finger, I changed my mind. All right, but as you can already see, it's I'm right on top of the dome spot. There it is right there. It's actually a lot harder to see now. So I'm gonna do that in that spot, on this spot on the side, where it was kind of running down. You don't wanna go too thick with it just so you don't have to sand as much, but right here is where that line used to be. And I think it'll be a lot better with about that much on there. So I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna go ahead and do any other spots I can see on this helmet. Like there's a couple kind of on this edge, on the chin, and then on this side right here. And yeah, I'll see you after that. Alright guys, here's the look after I put all the glazing and spot putty on. Here's the top. I may end up doing another layer of that. Here's that spot on the side. Honestly, that's gonna look really good. And then I put some on the chin just like this. Normally I need some on the chin of all my helmets. And then this little spot right here. And other than that, this is pretty good. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and I'll do it to the other parts too, but you know, I only need to show you one really. So I'll do this to the other parts, and then tomorrow, probably in the morning, we will do the sanding for it. Then the final priming, check that layer, and then well, honestly, we could probably start painting. So yeah, see you then. What's up, homies? This is what it looks like dry. Same thing as a regular primer of any kind. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna get this sanded down to be all as close as I can to the same level as the primer, and then we will go outside and hit it with the next coat of primer. Once again, I have no idea what number that is, but I'll be able to put a counter on the screen or something. So yeah, we get this sanded. I'll show you what it looks like after I sand it. I'm gonna use 220 grit sandpaper, smooth it out, try and equal it up, and then we'll see what it looks like. Homies, the eagle has landed and the helmet is sanded. Let's go. Here we go. This is what we're looking at. So let's go hit this with another coat of primer, of just the filler sandable primer, and then we'll see where we're at. I think we're really close to being able to start the base coat of paint. Honestly, it looks really smooth, but we'll check it out after I spray it. I'll show you guys what's up, and then we'll go from there. We're going outside. Oh. Hashtag tripod. So, got a haircut. I think I look pretty tough, except for the fact that I'm balding. But other than that, just awesome. 2 thumbs up. RIP's in the chat for balding. So here is, I don't know, you can see it's a little runny, but that's okay. I'm gonna do the top over on my table over here, but it's dark, so I'm not gonna show you that. But I'm just gonna do the same thing, just dust it on top, make it look like this, and then we'll get over to wet sanding. I think it's the next step. So yeah, as a few of you may know, I have a new thing for Gundams. I built my first one. Awesome. But I told myself I need to finish this video before I build my third one, because I already built my second one. So if you guys are interested in me doing a live stream or a video of just doing a Gunpla build, let me know. Comment. If I get enough comments, I swear I'm making that thing on camera, boys. I swear. Here's where we're at after that coat of primer. Okay, we're in a pretty good spot. We're in a pretty good spot. I know you can see some things, but the polish, wet sanding, it's more like you polish it. Does really well. So I'll show you the method that I do. Because I'm in my basement, I'm gonna move my trash can right under me. You can't see, but trust me, it's down there. The steps to wet sanding. You need water, sandpaper, and whatever you're sanding, I guess, but that's it. So what I like to do is I have a water bottle that I poked a hole in the lid. Just little squirter, you know. So you take your print, you do one of these. That's a mess. Anyways, you do that. You take your sandpaper. I start wet sanding with 220 or 400, just depends. And you just only where it's wet. You go around it. And instead of your typical sanding, you'll see whatever motion you go in, it kind of leaves that, it like leaves your trail on it, you know what I mean? But I don't know the specifics, but that definitely fills in a couple gaps and it makes the whole thing super smooth. So I'm gonna wet sand this whole thing using the water bottle. And I'll show you what it looks like after, and after I wipe it off and stuff. Also, be careful when you're wiping off if you wipe off with paper towels, because it will leave the paper towel on the print. You can use shop towels, they work a little better, but that's just getting picky. So I'm gonna do that really quick and I'll show you what it looks like after, and then we'll move on to the full helmet. Here is the wet sanded look. Oh, I wish you could just feel it. Feels awesome. And I do see there's a dimple right here. My bad, but everything else is wicked. On the first round of wet sanding, this time I did the 220. I'll go up with like a 400 or something close that I have. And then it will get another layer of primer just to look at it when it's all painted over. And then normally I miss something and I will do another wet sanding and then the final primer. Now look, you can go as many steps as you want into any of this. Everybody wants finishes like this or even this. Okay? Everybody wants finishes like this, but nobody wants to sand and prime. And this is how you get this look. I'm telling you, all these steps, that's how you do it. You don't have to do it. Nobody's gonna make fun of you or anything. But if you want them to look like this, like those people you see on Instagram who just are awesome, they take the time, man. You gotta put the time in to make it look good. So we're doing 2 more rounds at least. I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand the helmet. I'll show you it, and then we'll have to go back and prime it again. So, all right, let's get to it. Chase here, your favorite wet sander. Honestly, it looks pretty good. The camera makes it look okay, but it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go spray it with another little primer. I'm not gonna take the camera outside because I think you guys get it by now, to be honest with you. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done there. And then I think that coat, that round of wet sanding, then we'll be ready to start painting. Here we are after the 6th or something coat. Okay, 5th or 6th coat of the sandable primer. So honestly, we're almost at a spot that I like when we're really close. So I hammered the top a little bit extra with like some buildup. So I'm gonna do this a wet sand again. I'm gonna do 400 grit sandpaper on a wet sand with the water bottle and all that. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And I think we can move on to paint after that. But we'll see what it looks like. So, all right. Super excited. We're getting to a really good point with this. I mean, I wish you could just feel this. It is buttery smooth. I mean, it's like a rocket. I'm actually gonna move up the wet sanding to 800 grit, and then we are gonna paint a base coat. What? Crazy. Real quick, I don't think I touched on this already yet, but in case I didn't, I'm going to right now. So when you have a sheet of sandpaper, you really want to like take this and fold it and just go to town. Don't do that. Definitely cut a little piece off of your sandpaper because you won't use as much this way. See, now I just destroyed this. I can throw that away. And if I use this whole thing, I would have destroyed this whole thing even if I used a corner. So make sure you cut off pieces of your sandpaper. Final checkup here. All right. Look at that, it's literally shining in the light. So this is all the sanding I did regular, and then 400 and 800 grit wet sanding again. Yeah, we're ready to go. Here's the back as well. Okay, so now let's talk paint. for this particular model, okay, the Iron Spider, it has like a goldish red, kind of like an iron, like a shiny Iron Man, like the Mark 80. So I'm going to, these are going to be the final coat, the metal cast red from Duplicolor, and I'm just going to mix it with this gold. This gold. Before I do any of that, I'm going to have a base coat of a gloss black to go under the gold. That's a Krylon Fusion gloss black. So I'm going to start on the back to make sure that all the paint works like I thought. So this will get the gloss black, then the gold, and then the metal cast. But first, I'm going to put the magnets in because I forgot. Alright boys, on to the painting. God, it's bright. Alright guys, so we're about to paint the back of the helmet. Super glossy, shiny back of the helmet. Couple things to think about before you start painting. One is you want a pretty dust-free environment. I made this little paint booth. I'll show you in a minute. I'll get a close-up. It's been in my other videos, but so you can make whatever you want to do that. I just recommend it. And then when you wipe off your print beforehand, be careful if you use paper towels because it will leave behind little bits of it. Shop towels, here, paper towels are down here. Shop towels work a little better. Microfiber cloths are the way to go if you have some. So let me get mine and I'll show you. Come on, Chase. I'm not an idiot. I know how to wipe off something with a cloth. Yeah, but I said full tutorial, so this is how you do it right there. Look at that glossy shine. Woo. It's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to hit it with the gold. Same as the last coat. Really light first, just get it dusted on. You don't want this stuff to run. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright, first of all, that looks awesome. Gonna let that set up a little bit and then we'll do a second coat. Alright guys, hope you can hear me. So the metal cast is next. It says to do 4 to 5 coats with 10 minutes in between, all within an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. Let me shake the can up and that'll be next. And it also says do not let this stuff run. Put it on super light every time. Okay, gonna let that sit. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll do another one. 10 minutes. What's up guys, been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with another metal cast. I think it looks good. Alright, I'm going to call that the second coat. We'll be back in 10 more minutes. Number 3. Yeah, that looks starting to look pretty good, pretty red. Sweet. 10 more minutes. We'll be back. All right, last coat. This is coat number 4. Number 4. On the can it says to leave sit for 3 hours before handling. So spray this one. I'll probably wait 2 hours, and then I'll move this. I'll just move the whole thing and let it dry. But I am pretty excited on how that looks. I think it looks great. Bam, 2 thumbs up. Let's do it. So I'm gonna let that sit for a couple hours and then I'll move on to the helmet. It's been a couple hours. Let's check it out. Cool. It looks great. The bottle, I don't know if you'll ever be able to see this, but it says anything after an hour, wait 7 days. So as far as clear coat in this video, I don't know that I'm going to clear coat anything in this video. If I don't, just comment below if you want to see one, and I'll do one for clear coat. It'll be fine. I made that. Here, hang on. I made this to basically, it's just 2 pieces of wood that I taped together, so I didn't want to use a screw. And that is the bottom half of a roll of PLA. And I put a piece of foam on top. And that is going to hold the helmet, so that way when I spray it, I can get down below it and all that. We gotta wipe it off. I know I'm using it with my hand, but I think it'll be okay. We are doing the gloss black. Gloss black once again. I think we did basically 2 coats of this. Alright, that's going to be good for the first coat. Alright. The unveiling. Gloss black. There we go. Round 2. Close that up. Same as the last one. Be back in a few. Hey guys, I forgot to hit go. Or you know what I mean, I forgot to hit record. I just did the first coat of the gold, and then I talked about how awesome it looked. I mean, it does look awesome. I could definitely see myself just leaving it like that. But yeah, I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll do the second coat. I don't know why it doesn't say gold on here, but it's gold. Man, that looks awesome. I mean, that looks so cool. I should have just left it. All right. Those are for the gold. Let dry for a minute or 2, and then we are on to the metal cast red. Hey guys, Chase here. I just yelled at my dog and I feel bad. Metal cast red. Let's go, boys. Alright, once again, if you're using this paint, super light dusting, and like 4 coats, 4 or 5 coats, 10 minutes apart. Alright. This paint smells like oranges or something. Okay, I'm gonna let that be the first coat. Looks like a rose gold right now. It's pretty cool. But that'll be the first coat. Let's let it dry. 10 minutes again. There we go. Let's go. Alright boys, it's been 10 minutes. Back to the metal cast. That thing looks sharp. Alright. Close it. 10 more minutes. Number 3. Yes, baby, yes. All right, one more. 10 more minutes, and we'll be looking good. 10 more, let's go. The last coat. I've done so much painting today. Yes. Woo! Yes. All right. I think that's about perfect. If I go any more, it'll probably blur out the gold, which I don't want. So, all right. See you guys in a couple hours once it's all dry. We'll get a good look at it. Alright, here is our final look at our Iron Spider helmet. Whew. Guys, I don't know what you think, but for it to look this clean with no clear coat on it, which does hide some imperfections, I'm stoked about it. Couldn't have been a better how to paint episode. I mean, this is great. You know? Oh, man. As always, guys, my name's Chase. Please subscribe for more content. You know I love making stuff like this. If you want to see me make more Gundams, they're over there. Let me know. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.